Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another new video. This is Santu Sahu and you are watching Sahu's tutorial. Do join quickly and let me know is everything is okay. And in this video here, I'll be covering The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. Please do let me know is everything is okay. Good evening everyone. So here I'm to begin the summary of The White Tiger, the famous novel by Aravind Adiga. The famous novel by Aravind Adiga that was published in 2008, and in the same year it got the Booker Prize. So here the protagonist is Balram Halwai, who is a son of a rickshaw puller who became uh, a taxi or owner of that city here. Okay, let me share this link on my Telegram channel. Do join quickly and let me know is everything is okay. Okay, good evening Sujit. So here I'll be covering here the White Tiger. Okay, and tomorrow I'll be covering Sujit the Calcutta University जो conducting कर रहा है जो and tomorrow I'll be covering the MCQs for the upcoming Calcutta University exam. Here I'll be covering the summary of White Tiger. Okay, the summary of White Tiger. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So, The White Tiger that was published in 2008 written by Aravind Adiga. It's a novel by Aravind Adiga. It was published in 2008 and the same year it got the Booker Prize. Okay. The novel provides a darkly humorous perspectives of India's class struggle in a globalized world as told through a retrospective narration of Balram Halwai. So, here Balram Halwai is actually the protagonist, the narrator of this novel, and he is writing in a letter. And to whom he is writing letter? A Chinese. Okay, so he, as a village boy, the novel examines issues of the Hindu religion, caste, loyalty, corruption, and poverty in India. So here in this novel, The White Tiger is the story of Balram Halwai's life, and he is declaring himself as self-made entrepreneur. He is describing himself as self-made entrepreneur, and he was a son of a rickshaw driver who skillfully climbs Indian social ladder to become a chauffeur, and later he became a successful businessman too. And Balram is recounting his life story in a letter to a visiting Chinese officer, that is Premier Wen Jiabo. So to whom he is writing this letter? He is writing this letter to a Chinese official premier called Wen Jiabo, with the goal of educating the premier about the entrepreneurship in India. Good evening. So this is the White Tiger. Here I am covering the summary of White Tiger. So here Balram Halwai is writing in a letter to a visiting Chinese official premier Wen Jiabo. Okay? And he was a son of a rickshaw driver, and he himself described as a self-made entrepreneur, and he was the narrator of this novel as well. And he was born in a rural village called Gaya district in Laxmangarh. Okay, so Laxmangarh is the setting. Laxmangarh is the setting of this novel. Gaya district, which was actually portrayed as dark. Okay, which is portrayed as dark. He was actually trying to go away from this dark to the light actually, where he lived with his grandmother, parents, and brother and extended family. And Balram actually writes from his luxurious office here in the city of Bangalore. He is now in the city of Bangalore. He is a successful businessman now writing this letter from the city of Bangalore, which is described as light, and the city and the rural village, that is Laxmangarh, is described as what? Dark. Now the Bangalore is here described as light, whereas the rural ancestral house is described as dark in this novel. Okay, so questions. No, look, you need to study the summary of every important novels. You need to read the summary of important novels, at least a summary. Don't need to read the whole book actually. That's why summary of important novels are important. And you don't know from where they will ask question. Okay, so summary is important. Some themes, some metaphors that were used, narrator to whom it was written, some symbols that are being used in this novel. That's why these are important things. Okay, I think you have understood. So here you see, Balram writes from his luxurious office in the city of Bangalore, but the story begins in his rural ancestral village of Lakshmangarh. Don't need to write it down. I will be providing to the paid students. Paid students don't need to write it. Okay, I'll be sharing in your group. Paid students of UGC NET don't need to write it down. I'll be providing. Okay. So, but the story begins in his rural ancestral village of Lakshmangarh. Throughout his life, Balram's destitute family lives at the mercy of four cruel, exploitative landlords. One was, and they are referred to as the animals. So, the four exploitative landlords are referred to as animals. One is the raven, another one is the stork, the buffalo, and the wild goat. So, these are the four images. Okay, the four exploitative landlords are presented as the animals, the raven, the stork, the buffalo, and the wild goat. Despite the difficulty in spite of his difficulty, he is born into the Balram excel in a school. His academic potential and personal integrity distinguished from his classmates, bringing them to the attention of the visiting school inspector. So one day what happened? A visiting school inspector came and he named the title of White Tiger. So the White Tiger was given by whom? The White Tiger was given by a visiting school inspector who nicknames him the White Tiger after the most rare and intelligent creature in the jungle. So here, who gave this name? It was the school inspector gave him the White Tiger. Okay. And then Balram's parents actually recognize his potential and want him to complete his education. But the grandmother was Kusum, who removes him from school early on so that he can work to support the family. So the parents were actually trying to complete Balram's education, but because of grandmother Kusum, who wanted him to earn for the family, that's why Balram left the school, and that's why Balram is defining himself as half-baked. What? Half-baked Indian. That is, so the education khatam nahi hua. He was unable to complete his education. That's why he is describing himself as half-baked Indian. Okay, not he was not able to complete his education. So Balram is determined to continue his education however he can. When he and his brother Krishan begin working in a tea shop in nearby Dhanbad, Balram neglects his duties and spends his days listening to the customers' conversation. And he overhears one customer speaking wistfully about his earnings and easy life that India's private chauffeurs enjoy. So that now when he listens to that conversation of the chauffeurs enjoy some money, they earn money, and that's why after listening to that, here that is our titled character Balram wanted to become a chauffeur and begs his grandmother to send him to a driving school. That's why he begs his grandmother Kusum to send him to a driving school, and Kusum also agrees, and Balram must promise to send, but the reason was that Balram must promise to send home his wages once he finds a job. ठीक है, पैसा भेजना पड़ेगा घर में. When his training complete, Balram knocks on the doors of Dhanbad's rich family, offering his services. By a stroke of luck, he arrives at the mansion of the stork, one of the Lakshmangarh's animal landlords. And one day after the stork's son, that is Mr. Ashok, the important character of this novel is Mr. Ashok, returns from America with his the white Pinky madam. So actually, the four animals that were the exploitative landlords, one of them was Stork. So Stork's son was actually Mr. Ashok, and the wife was Pinky madam, and they returned from America. The family hires Balram to become a Ashok's driver. But actually Balram was not a driver at that time. Balram is more of a general servant. सब रकम के काम कर. He was able जो सब काम करता था. He was a general servant to the family. While another servant was Ram Prasad. Ram Prasad was actually the original driver of that home of Ashok, but he was a general servant at that time. Now, Balram learns that Stork's family fortunes comes from illegally selling coal out of government mines, okay, and that's why they bribe ministers to turn blind eye to their fraudulent business to allow them family to avoid paying income tax. And unfortunately, what happened? Recently, they had a disagreement with the region's ruling politicians referred to as the Great Socialists. The family dispatches an Ashok and Pinky to Delhi, where Ashok will distribute more bribes to make amends. And when the Balram learns that the couple will need a driver in Delhi, he schemes to have Ram Prasad dismissed and goes in his place. So when Balram was going to Delhi, okay, what happened? He schemed Ram Prasad. Okay? He schemes to have Ram Prasad dismissed and goes in place of Ram Prasad. So tricks with Ram Prasad, and he goes as a driver in place of Ram Prasad. Okay? When he was going to Delhi. And here once in Delhi, you see that once in Delhi, Balram witnesses Pinky's. So in Delhi, Balram was able to find that Pinky's and Ashok's marriage rapidly fall apart. And Pinky returns to the USA and leaves her husband after she kills a young child. So when she was driving, she killed a child in a drunken hit and run accident. So in her absence, what happened? Ashok goes to bars, clubs, hiring a prostitute one night and reconnecting with a former lover on another. This was the conditions of Ashok when Pinky went to USA, again returns to the USA. And observing his master's gradual corruption and driving him through Delhi's sedia districts, Balram becomes disillusioned and resentful as well. Although Ashok is a relatively kind master, Balram realizes that whatever generosity Ashok has shown him is only a fraction of what he can afford. Ashok has no real interest in helping Balram to achieve a better life or in changing the status quo of Balram. And that's why after that, Balram is planning to murder Ashok and to escape with the bag of the money that he carries around the city to bribe politicians. Here, that is here your main character, that is Ashok, was actually going with the bag of money that he carries around the city to bribe the politicians. And he was actually, after killing Ashok, he wanted to escape by taking that bag of money. In addition to the risk of being caught, Balram must contend with the logic of the rooster coup. So this is the metaphor. The metaphor of rooster coup appears as if the operation of the poor people is here. The operation of the poor people is compared here with the rooster. The rooster is being slaughtered in a coop, as if the rooster is being slaughtered in a coop. So the system of operation in which India's poor, including Balram himself, are trapped in this system. In this system, the poor Balram is trapped here, and he is comparing himself with a rooster, as if the rooster is actually trapped in a coop, being slaughtered in a coop. Balram knows that if he kills Ashok, Ashok's family even will murder all his own relatives in Laxmangarh in retaliation. And Balram is also held back by the arrival in Delhi of his young cousin Dharam, who Kusum sends from Dhanbad with demand that Balram have praised him. But Balram finally resolves to proceed with the murder. So he decided that he will murder Ashok using a weapon he has fashioned out of a broken liquor bottle. So by stabbing with that broken liquor bottle, he killed Ashok. One day, as he drives Ashok to deliver a particularly large bribe, Balram pretends that there is a mechanical problem with the car, and he pulls over, convinces Ashok to kneel down and examines the wheel, and then he brings the broken bottle down on Ashok's head. After killing his master, he returns to Ashok's apartment and collects Dharam and escapes with his young cousin to Bangalore. And this is how he killed whom? This is how he killed Ashok. And now, once Balram regains his nerves. Okay, in Bangalore, enough not to fear immediate capture, he begins wandering the city and listening to conversations in caves, just as he did in the tea shop in Dhanbad, to plan his next move, what he will do. Now, he learns that Bangalore's business world revolves around outsourcing, and that the large technology companies work on nocturnal schedule. Balram creates a taxi. Now after taking that money, okay, Balram creates a taxi company called White Tiger Drivers. So by taking that money, so Balram created a taxi company, that is a White Tiger Drivers, to bring call center workers home safely at night, and the venture is an enormous success. So he got the success as well when he was able to when he created a taxi company called White Tiger Drivers. Okay? And by the time he sits down to tell his story, Balram is a wealthy man. Now he is writing from where? He is writing for Bangalore. He is writing from the office of Bangalore. He is writing from the office of Bangalore. By the time he sits down to tell his story, Balram is a wealthy man. He is a businessman who keeps to himself, still fearful that one day his crime will be discovered. However, he concludes his letter to Wen Jiabo by saying that even he is found out, he will never regret his crime. He will never regret his crime. It was worth committing simply because it enabled him to experience life as a free man rather than as a servant. So here he got the freedom. He got the freedom. And it was actually he even trying to regret himself. Okay, he will never forget it. He will never regret his crime. Actually, it was worth committing simply because it enabled him to experience life as a free man rather than as a servant. So he did not want to lead a life of a servant. He did not want to live a life of a servant. Rather, he wanted to live as a free man. That's why this act of killing is justified by him. This act of killing is justified him that he will never regret by killing by doing this work. So here half-baked Indians, here he is actually referring himself as half-baked Indians, lack the benefit of formal schooling. However, need to take charge of one's, and this is how the novel ends. And there are some images, the symbols and metaphors as well that we will discuss, and themes as well. So half-baked Indians lack the benefit of formal schooling. However, the need to take charge of one's own education and to continue learning from one's own environment, often in unconventional ways, produce people with flexible, inventive minds, which do we have? That is, he himself describing as a half-baked Indians. Okay? And Balram's luxurious office embodies urban, sophisticated light India. That is light India. That is the Bangalore is actually represented as light India. Okay? Balram's luxurious office that is in Bangalore embodies urban, sophisticated light India. And his decision to begin his narrative with a prayer to the gods implies that, in spite of his skepticism about religion, its traditions with rituals still have a hold over him, and he is both mocking and believing at the same time. And even Balram has truly crossed from dark India into the light. From dark India, that is the Lakshmangad, okay, from Lakshmangad, that is the setting, the ancestral village, the ancestral house of Balram, has truly crossed from dark India to the light. Light is referring here Bangalore, and is now incapable of being caught. He is too rich and powerful for something like an arrest warrant to charge him. Something like an arrest warrant to charge him. So he is too rich. Okay, he has become a successful man, a businessman. He is too rich, and nobody will be able to warrant to arrest him actually. And here are some metaphor. So this is the metaphor of rooster. This is the use of the metaphor of the rooster. And Balram decides that killing Ashok will be the only way to escape India's rooster coup. And here Balram's metaphor for describing this operation of India's coup, just as roosters in a coop at the market watch themselves get slaughtered one by one, but are unable to unwilling to break out of the cage. Similarly, Balram too is portrayed as being trapped in the metaphorical rooster coop. So here this is the Balram is being compared with this roost, the condition of the rooster in the coop. And here the themes of globalization. Themes of globalization can be found here because you see the famous line here. He is saying that I am always a man. Remember this line, that I am always a man who sees tomorrow when others see today. Okay, I am always a man who sees tomorrow when others see today. This is the famous line that Balram Halwai told in this novel. And then the White Tiger takes place in a time in which increased technology has led to world globalization, and India is no exception as well. In the 21st century, India has had one of the fastest growing economies actually. Specifically, Americanization in India has played its role in the plot because it provides an outlet for Balram to alter his caste as well. ठीक है. And to satisfy Pinky's want for American culture, also Pinky and Balram simply moved to Gurgaon instead of going back to America as well. And the themes of individualism can be found, whereas themes of individualism and freedom also. Throughout the book, there are references to show how Balram is very difficult from his home environment. He is referred to as the white tiger, which also happens to the title of the book. The white tiger symbolizes power in East Asian cultures, such as in Vietnam as well, and is also a symbol for freedom and individuality. So white tiger here is a symbol of freedom and individuality. Balram is seen as different from the who grew up with, and he is the one who got out of darkness and found his way into light. Darkness again is referring Lakshmangarh, the village, and Lakshmangarh village, the ancestral village, and now light is referring to the successful career that he is in Bangalore, that he is a successful businessman in Bangalore. So he was able to cross from this darkness and was able to move to light, and that is becoming a businessman. And even freedom. The theme of freedom can be found in the novel, because here once here you see that towards the beginning of the novel, Balram cites a poem from the Muslim poet Iqbal, where he talks about slaves and slaves. They remain slaves because they cannot see what is beautiful in this world. And Balram sees himself, and this this is not actually this one. Okay, this is actually. So here, it is darkness as well. Rooster Cook. This is told actually. Next question. In an interview, here you see, in an interview with Aravind Adiga, he talked about the white tiger was a book for man's quest for freedom. This is the thing that in white tiger, okay, if in white tiger, in an interview, Aravind Adiga has said that this was actually a book about a man's quest for freedom, and Balram, the protagonist in the novel, walked his way out of his low social caste, often referred to as the darkness, was able to cross it and overcome the social obstacles, and he was able to overcome all the social obstacles that limited his family in the past as well. And when he climbed up the social ladder, Balram sets and weights and limits his past and overcomes the social obstacles as well that keep him from living the life to the fullest that he can. And in the book, Balram talks about how he was in a rooster coop, that is the condition, the victimized conditions of the poor people, and how he broke free from his coop. He was able to escape from that coop. From the shackles of the society. And the novel is somehow a memory of his journey to finding his freedom in India's modern day capitalist society. And towards the beginning of the novel, Balram cites a poem from the Muslim poet Iqbal, where he talks about that they remain slaves because they can't see what is beautiful in this world. And Balram sees himself embodying the poem and being the one who sees the world and takes it and rises to the ranks of society, and in doing so, finding his own freedom. And these are the themes of this and the symbols of these novels, using of metaphors as well. And this is the basic story that you need to know about this novel here. Okay, I think it is clear now. Okay, I think it is now clear. The white tiger, the whole story and the usage of metaphors, symbols, quotations, important quotations have been explained in this video. I think it is clear now. Okay. Who are watching? Godod, are you there? Godod, Rao? But Sujit is there also. Which one you are requesting to discuss? Which one? Sujit? Which one you are wanting me to discuss? Wuthering Heights. Okay. Okay, definitely. One by one I will be covering the important novels, dramas as well, one by one. Okay? In the upcoming days, okay, I will be covering the important novels, dramas as well, one by one. Okay? definitely I'll be covering Wuthering Heights as well. ठीक है ना, Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. Okay. Because I am bored of this MCQ series, that's why I am here. Now looking for the summaries and the important novels, the works, dramas, and even important poem as well. Even in the upcoming days, I will be taking a class explaining important works like you have like the proof of Love Song of Jayapur, proof of the Wasteland, Hollow Man, Ulysses. Important works will be explained line by line. Okay, I'll be ending it here. Tomorrow we'll be having classes for Calcutta University PG entrance exam. ठीक है? So good night, Sujit, and I'm ending it here. Okay, चलो.